5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Well, this isn't live, so everything's cool. Try not to use curse words, though. only one time ever. I've probably done 50 of these, and only once did I ever have somebody curse. And interestingly enough, it was women's basketball.
Really?
Of all teams.
Oh my gosh.
Of all the teams I've had. I was like,
Imagine if it was Lexi.
I was thinking that.
no, everybody was on their best behavior.
Ah, that's good.
When the team came in the first time. So Skylar Sweeney is here, and I said just before we started, I knew that you were at Farmington.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good friends with Coach Mills. The
Oh,
AD,
yeah.
And so Maddie was on the basketball team as well. And I didn't make it out this year, but I made it out last year to one of your guys' home games to do some photos. So did you, like, have you always been someone who, like, wanted to play at MAC, or was this just
Oh, yeah. When I was younger, like, probably like 10 years old, like, I would always come to the games, and I always wanted to play here.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your experience been so far?
I love it. I love the girls. I love BP and Shep. Practices are hard, and we're winning, so.
Yeah, a lot of wins. I'm assuming you're not a fan. Nobody's a fan of the black basketballs or the hand
Oh,
weights.
heck no.
The what? Oh, the weighted
black-
balls.
The weighted balls.
Let's not bring those
Yeah.
up.
awful.
Those are no one likes those. And then the hand weights on defense.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Also, apparently not a good time. Maybe helpful, but certainly not fun.
Definitely.
During
Yeah,
practice.
the black ball's better than the weights.
I think I'd prefer
rather.
the black ball
But
instead of the
Argentina.
weights.
Okay, for Argentina though, but if you're not in the middle for Argentina, you can survive. It's hard,
Yeah,
but
if
you can survive.
But when you're in the middle, mm-mm.
No.
I don't like that.
That's a tough spot.
Yeah.
Ashley, now you're from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is wild, but when I went to college in Kentucky, I met a guy who was a couple years older than me, and everybody called him Fishkill. And I was like, that's an odd nickname. And I didn't find out till like a month later that the town he was from was Fishkill, New York.
Yeah,
And so
I'm
you're,
right there.
it's Junction, what is it?
I'm Hopewell Junction,
Hopewell
but like
Junction.
if you told people like I lived in Fishkill or East Fishkill, they would all like know where I live.
Yeah, it's not too far north of like Manhattan. I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the city. I hate when people say I'm upstate. It bothers
Sure.
me because upstate are like completely different people.
yeah.
But I try not to act like I'm some city girl because like I'm not that close.
Right. Yeah. I looked it up on the map. My sister lived in Brooklyn for probably a decade, and I have some friends out there, but I looked it up and I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. I saw Fishkill, and I was like, how interesting. I've never met someone else
That's weird.
from that place. But yeah, like 30 years ago. I was like, and I thought, man, that's a weird nickname for this guy. And it turns out his hometown, so. Did anyone call you that? Anybody, is that your nickname or someone else's nickname?
No, but a lot of people make fun of Fishkill. Like if you tell them that, they make fun of us.
It sounds like a funny name.
Yeah, it's not the best name. So I try and go with Hopewell Junction, you know?
Yeah.
It's long, but at least I can't get made fun of.
It sounds like a Colorado resort town. Like, oh, Hopewell Junction. Yeah, who thought, you know what, this town needs named Fishkill? Like, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Missouri?
Well, I started talking with BP. I really obviously didn't know much about Missouri or anything, but I came on a visit last year on April, and I loved it. It was very different. Obviously, this is very country to me.
Sure.
Because I'm more in the city, so obviously it's busy. We have everything you could think of. We're here. It's not as easy to access, but it's beautiful here in the town. Everyone's really close, so I love that.
Cool. Good. And you're both freshmen, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
First year? Okay. And then Annaliese and Audra, you both are coming from overseas. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Australia.
So are you both sophomores?
Yes.
Yeah, returners, yeah.
Okay. And so how did you, what's your origin story? How did you end up in Missouri? Did you know someone who played here or have a connection with a coach?
Our story would be pretty similar, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, we were from the same recruiting place, ATC Academy, and Taylor, who was in charge of ATC, sort of reached out to us and invited us to, work with her, and she got in touch with a few coaches, and it ended up being Briley that we
we
kind of
both
clicked
chose,
with. Yeah.
Now, I've heard that when she is recruiting you that she doesn't really take no for an answer. Was that your experience?
I think she was pretty persistent but I was very keen.
Sure.
So like,
Yeah,
I
I feel
probably
it didn't
had-
take me much
yeah.
convincing either.
I have heard
so-
that there's been a few girls that have had a lot of, like they had more conversations with her, but I was pretty keen on her from
You were already
probably
kind
the third
of
call.
interested?
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And then now on the roster, it lists, it doesn't list like Sydney or Melbourne. It lists like
the states.
province. Is that what,
Yeah.
are they considered a state?
New South Wales and Victoria, yeah.
Yeah.
New South Wales and Victoria. Now, how are you close to the big city? Or are you kind of far out? Or
I'm like 45 minutes to an hour from the city.
okay,
Where
And then I'm like an hour south of Sydney. Well, Sydney's like a really big place. So-
yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, but I'm from Wollongong, and that's by the coastline. It's really pretty there. It's like not too big, but not too small. It's like
Are you a
perfect.
beach person?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
gosh.
I'm like 10 minutes from the beach.
And then
Yeah.
you end up in America, like
With no beach
the
at all in the
farthest
middle.
possible place
Yeah.
from a beach.
Yeah.
How's the adjustment been to such a different kind of living situation?
I feel like for me, I'm pretty quick to adjust to things, and like everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're away from the beach and stuff, but like at the end of the day, like coming to college, you're here for like two reasons, basically like basketball and school.
Yeah.
So it's like if your priorities are straight with that, like outside things like that don't really affect you too much.
This comes up a lot when you don't have a whole lot of things to do. All you can do is get good grades
Yeah.
and practice. So, for a year or 2 years, like it's a great stepping stone because there aren't a whole heck of a lot of distractions. So you mentioned the beach. If I were to visit your hometown, like what's like a popular place to visit or to see? Or is it something famous, or do you get many tourists?
Yeah,
where
I
you're
feel
at?
like we in Melbourne get a lot of tourists, but I feel like they either go towards the city and sightsee around the city. We've got some amazing museums. We've also got a lot of nice beaches. I think our beaches down in Melbourne are quite beautiful. Recommend like Rye or something like that. But I feel like if anyone comes to Melbourne, they're coming for, I think, a little bit of the culture. It's a big culture change. And the weather. I feel like the weather's extremely different to here because we don't get snow like you guys here, so everyone goes for the summer.
So it's nicer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
prefer the summer.
Yeah, it kind of Melbourne's more southern than Sydney, but they're both fairly low in the south. What about if I come up to the junction? What would do you get a lot of people coming out of the city just to be out in
So
the non-city?
that's actually funny. So this is like weird. So we have like my like home, like it used to be a big farm, and it's called Fishkill Farms, and it's now like way tinier, but a lot of people from the city come down in the fall and go to the farm. It's not like some fancy farm, but like it's beautiful and it has a lot of nice things, and like obviously the food there is great. But like when my brother worked there, like famous basketball players from the Knicks came all the time, Giants players, it's kind of weird that is what
Interesting.
everyone comes down to, but that's it. And it's literally like I can walk to the farm from my house.
Yeah. Well, I see things like whether it's apple farm, like go pick your own apple, or and then of course the fall leaves are kind of famous in the Northeast.
Oh, it's so pretty back at home fall. I love it down there.
Yeah. I can imagine this sort of wave of city people, roughing it out in the country for a bit. Is there? So the farm is kind of like the main attraction.
That's like the main one in like my hometown.
Yeah. Skylar, what do you think about Farmington? Hunts probably for a burger and milkshake.
I like Pasta House.
Yeah, Pasta House.
Or El Tap.
El Tap's pretty good too. Yeah, we go to Casa Sol in the Factory.
Oh yeah, I like the Factory too.
Or even Si Senor out on the Karsh. Really, I mean, any kind of Mexican food is kind of hard to turn down, but I don't know. What do you think does Farmington have like the Parkland, are you an outdoor, do you like hiking or going to Elephant Rocks or?
Yeah, I like Elephant Rocks. I like going on my side-by-side where I live. And my dad trains dogs. So we have like 40 dogs in kennels outside of our house.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So the side-by-side, I'm assuming you have some property? Or do you,
Yeah.
And do you have like trails or you just kind of roll around on
Yeah. We have like 70 acres. And my dad bush hogs back there, like paths.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and we have like a little creek back there too.
So you can drive around.
hmm
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I've took some teammates back there before.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did they come back or you just leave them there? You brought them back.
Left them there.
So the off-roading, well, St. Joe is that's a pretty big deal. They do get a lot of out-of-town people to St. Joe because of they have a huge area for motorcycles and side-by-sides or four-wheelers or anything like that. I've only been out there once on like a photography assignment, but it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that'd be pretty fun just cruising around on. So you mentioned taking some teammates, and can you tell me about like team bonding? Do you guys think that you've kind of come together during the season?
Oh my gosh, the past 48 hours?
Yeah.
The past 48 hours.
We literally did a massive team bonding
Yeah.
exercise like
What, it took
yesterday
us
for
4
2
hours?
hours and 2 hours this morning.
Wow.
And I think that's probably, honestly, I feel better. I don't know about the rest of the team. Haven't really had a conversation with the rest of the girls, but I feel better. We had to open up and,
I felt
talk
like
about some things.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I felt like it definitely
Well,
helped.
Yeah, I feel like after the loss we just had, it was kind of needed
Sure.
to, hear what everyone has to say about dislikes and likes and how they feel and,
Yeah.
being
I
a
mean, we
little
can
bit
explain what we
vulnerable.
did. We basically all just like sat in a circle
Mhm.
and you had to say one thing that bothers you about the person and then something that you really love about them. And you just said it about each teammate and then the coaches as well.
Okay, so this was a coaches it wasn't
Yeah.
just a team only or a player only. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that just happened within the last 2 days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was pretty intense,
Yeah.
but beneficial. We are coming on to sort of the last push.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting into all conference games, postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're hoping for a conference win, or so we can then move on, and hopefully end up in Hutchinson.
It's Casper now.
Yeah,
it's not.
Oh, it's in
Casper.
Wyoming this year?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it changed. Huh. Interesting. I think, is the men's still in Hutchinson, or is it?
I think so.
Wait,
To be honest, I
Maybe.
don't
I
know.
don't they always go to like Lubbock or something?
Oh, wasn't that where we
Oh.
were last year? Like the women?
I thought
I don't even know.
I could have sworn because like volleyball is Hutch, and I thought
Yeah.
basketball's Hutch. But so you're in Casper,
Yeah.
Wyoming this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you go, let's say everything great happens and we win and we get a chance to go, there could be 6 to 8 feet of snow in March. You never know. Wyoming is.
Oh, really?
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Isn't it like
Oh.
way up north or something? Like,
Well, it's a little bit north, but it's west, so it's north of Colorado. But have you ever traveled out west, Wyoming?
Yeah, when I was younger with my
It's-
family. Yeah.
Like, it's really pretty, but the weather is like, it could be sunny one day, and the next day there's like 4 feet of snow. It's
Oh,
it's
wow.
crazy.
A big change really quickly.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Really windy up there because it's just all like plateaus and then some mountains north of the Rockies. I've been out there a couple times. Yellowstone, I've always wanted to go back to Yellowstone. That's out there. But yeah, they have like gates that they can close the highways if it snows. All of a sudden, they can just shut everything down. It's
Oh, that's really interesting.
pretty intense. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. If you get a chance, like, the U.S. does, like, we're pretty lucky in, like, all of our natural out west, all of our areas and stuff like that. But didn't know it was in Casper. That's interesting. What would you say, if you looked at yourself at the start of the season, is there a particular skill that you think you've improved, like personally, like whether it's shooting form or ball handling or finishing with contact? Is there something that you feel like you've personally improved on?
Defense.
Defense. Is it because of the hand weights?
Part of it, but
Probably.
BP definitely like hammers down on our defense. And for me, coming out of high school on a team that, like, defense is important, but we never were fully big on it. She's so big on it, and you work on it every day, and she makes sure you improve on it. Like, I was getting beat all the time in practice, and I'm definitely better now. I still get beat, especially by Audra baseline, but it's okay. I'll get there someday.
So that's just about like footwork, anticipation.
Yeah, and watching the ball and their body and how they move. I just want to steal the ball when I shouldn't.
Oh,
Can't
so-
lunge. No lunging. We don't do that here at Mac.
Yeah, so making good decisions.
Yeah.
As a guard, or you're a guard as well.
I play at 4.
You're a betweener.
You're
I'm a tweener.
Me and
yeah.
Audra are guards.
You
Yeah,
two
they're
are
the two
guards. Okay.
guards.
That's obviously a big thing, is just decision making. Is there something, or it doesn't have to be that, is there something you feel like, you say, wow, from day one to close to the end of the season, this has really improved for me personally?
For me, it's funny, like the past 24 hours, the girls have just been like, you have the skill set, you just need to utilize it. And so that's a big thing for me, was just confidence and just trusting my abilities. But I think something for me that has progressed has just kind of been the mental side of things. And say at the start was just running in pre-season, obviously that's just really hard, and because all the running and stuff you do, and I made sure to just tell myself in my head to never be oh, this is too hard, or I can't keep going, you know what I mean? I always try to make sure that my self-talk was just positive and just keep on pushing through, and because you have you're capable of so much, you just kind of stop yourself mentally, nothing's ever too hard. You're able to overcome everything. And kind of next play mentality, I feel I've also improved with that. And yeah, you don't understand how much of the mental side there is for basketball and how much that can hold you back.
Sure.
Yeah.
So maintaining a positive, something I picked up on not too long ago is this idea that progress isn't linear. Improving isn't a perfect straight line. You're gonna go backwards, you're gonna go down, but as long as you're kind of still always improving, whether that's playing a sport, playing an instrument, if you're an artist, you're gonna have off days. You're gonna have a bad shooting day. You're gonna have a bad day on defense. You have a bad test, right? But just not letting that sort of define the rest of the game or the rest of a practice or even a whole season. And you said one play ahead, so kind of not focusing solely on what's happening, but trying to envision maybe what the other team's going to do, or what your next play is down the court, something like that?
Yeah, like it's just the coaches and stuff, like they're always on you about like next play, because so much happens in basketball. Like by the time you think about missing a layup, it's like the ball's down the other end and you're going to play defense. It's just you got to just snap out of it and just be ready for whatever's next, because so much is going on. And there's like no time to think about
really
like what just happened.
memory. Yeah, just not even. Well, and I think that's a good mentality. Years and years ago, too much coaching was you miss a shot, you come out of the game. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because that's part of the game, is you're going to miss shots.
Yeah.
Or the other team scores, so the coach gets mad. It's like it's not going to end up 1,000-0. Like, the other team's going to score points. Now, if you give up an easy layup, that's one thing. But just in the course of a game, like letting things go, recognizing the other team makes a good play or lucky shot.
And like a big thing for us is just like our coaches focus on what we can control. So like shots is like never a thing that we focus on, because like you can't ever really control if it's going to go in or not.
Yeah.
Like you can obviously do all the work behind it, but at the end of the day, like the things that we can control is just like effort, and that's why we're really big on discipline.
What about yourself? What do you think is your most improved skill?
I think I've grown a lot on defense, because at first it was a lot different and harder for me, because in high school we did a 2-3 defense, and now it's man-to-man, and VP's really disciplined, and like that's what she mostly cares about is defense. And I just struggled with it at first. But
so you came from running a zone to a man-to-man.
Right.
And so are we fighting through the picks, or are you switching, or does it depend?
Well, there's a couple of things that we run, and a lot of the time, like, we're supposed to go over the screen.
Okay.
And then maybe the big will help a little bit, but like just stunt at them kind of. And then we're just supposed to go over the screen and get our man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever sometimes just like go through the person?
Go through them.
I'm not even going to try to go around. I'm just
Bulldoze.
gonna knock them
Plow.
over.
Knock
I
them
think
over.
we've
No.
definitely had moments of people just running through the screen.
Just straight
Ayers
through.
has definitely just tried to run through the player.
Well, if you do it once at the beginning of the game, and then the person's afraid to screen the whole. You just have to be careful not to get a tech.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I
true.
wouldn't want to screen again.
What about yourself? Is there something you feel like you've improved upon?
Yes, definitely. I feel like my biggest goal for this year was to focus on purely my body. After not playing last year and being out for an injury, it was just, I lost a lot of skill and I lost a lot of weight, and it was purely this season I just wanted to understand what my body could tolerate and what it could do. So I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger for my body and mentally, like what Audra said, like basketball is such a mental game. It's probably 90% mental and 10% physical. It's just insanely intense on your mental side, which is probably what I needed to focus on most, and I feel like I've definitely improved that. And we had to talk about it, when we did our group session in the past 2 days, that I did let a lot of my emotions get to my game, and I still do, because I do get really aggressive sometimes because I get angry, but I feel like that's probably one of my biggest things that I've changed about my game, that I've, calmed down a little bit, or I'm not as aggressive as I was. So
You
Well,
definitely have.
starting to understand
You definitely
myself.
have.
Being in control, using emotion up to the point where it's a problem, like letting it, sort of that passion, energize you, but still maintaining control of it. Can you? Was it like a leg or injury?
Yeah, I had a stress fracture in my shin.
Oh.
That I started the very first game of the season. Well, I played the first game of the season last year, and then I was out for the rest of the season pretty much. Came back at Christmas and it still wasn't healed, so. But yeah, it's okay. Just a season that didn't work out, but I was aiming to make this one a better one.
Shin, I had a similar injury a long time ago, and it took probably at least 8 months before it really started to not bother me. It's a tough that's a tough injury.
Yeah, it's a very, very long process. It just takes its time. And the only thing you can really do is rest, honestly.
That's one of the problems is you can't really like strengthen it. You just have to wait. It's a time issue.
Exactly.
Do you is the weight room something that like are you doing a lot of is lifting part of your
Yeah, we have weight room 3 times a week?
Yeah, 2 to 3
most
times
of the
a week.
time, 2 to 3 times, and we do it in groups or we do it as like a whole team where we do circuits. I think weight room's good. I like weight room.
I actually really enjoy our weight room program.
It's sometimes hard. Sometimes it definitely pushes us. I think those circuits push us, but I think it's like a good push. Gets us
Circuit training's
uncomfortable.
tough.
Yeah.
It's not like lots of heavy weights. It's more kind of like agility
Yeah.
and like still like power and stuff, but just, you know, not like your typical like
Gym
bench
rat.
as hard as you can and like
you're
squat
not
as much
beefing
as you
up,
can.
you're
Yeah.
just, like are you doing like plyometrics or like
Lately,
power?
we've done a bit of plyometrics actually with our ladders and
Well, we have like, it's always, what is it? We got power, upper, lower, and core. I think
Yeah.
that will
Okay.
be the main.
We always do squats though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Squats will always
And we
be
do
in
this
there.
thing when we're doing it in circuit, we like sprint on the treadmill.
Okay.
And I think that's my most hated one because sometimes Coach Shep doesn't turn it on, so we have to push it while it's off.
Yeah, we have to
Oh,
run
That's
on it while it's
painful.
off. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, 30 seconds on. Yep, that's
to get
that's gonna kill
to get
ya.
the belt moving.
Yep.
That's tough. I lost my train of thought. Do you practice after weights, or are they kind of a separate thing?
Always.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
It's
So
always
it's
paired
weights,
together.
okay, and
Yeah.
prior to practice. Sometimes when I would be like a member at a gym and like I might, lift like upper body, like, I'm gonna go shoot a few hoops. Like that first shot, it's like your legs or your arms just feel like spaghetti.
Yeah.
But
think-
eventually it pays off.
Yeah, we're used to it at this point.
Well, I mean, after using those weights for defense, sometimes we pick up the basketballs and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so
we chuck
light.
it. we throw it hard
Yeah.
and brick it out.
Yeah, and with the heavy balls.
Yeah.
That helps
Yeah.
too. Like after using a heavy ball, the actual basketball feels so light.
Well, I've seen a couple practices where you're using the heavy ball for like finishing
Yeah.
with the body pad under the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that, after going through that loop a couple times, once you get a regular ball, it feels like it's got helium in it.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling picking up a normal basketball after using the weighted one.
And then did I see, were you doing a dribbling drill where you've also got a tennis ball at the same time? That looks
Yeah.
really difficult.
We do like ball handling in 3 stations, and we end up doing it for like 10 minutes straight. We gotta
Remember one time we did it
squat.
for 15 and we had to stay in the stance
Yeah.
and she would stop it?
We're training thunder thighs. Yeah, thunder thighs.
You have to stay low the whole time.
The tennis balls are helpful though, but putting it between your legs and then behind your back is really hard while throwing it in there.
Yeah, you have to practice it a lot. I still can't get that one.
I can't
Yeah,
get it.
I'm not very good
I
at
get
ball
one
handling.
and maybe 2.
So we have 2 home games remaining, unless do they do a? I'm trying to think. For the first round of the tournament, if they do home games or if it's all on location. It might be all on location. It might be all.
I
Aren't we
think.
almost done with home games?
Yeah.
Well, I know there are
so-
2. So the 17th and the 24th. Both of those are Saturdays in February. And then March is when like the conference tourney starts. I know volleyball rotates location, but I think maybe basketball's always like last
Isn't
year
it
was in
like
Jefferson
whoever's the
City.
first
What'd you
seed
last
Yeah,
year?
it was
gets
the
to
first
host?
seed.
You host.
Or maybe a bye. Maybe that's it. Maybe number 1 seed gets
Yeah, I
a
think
first round bye.
I think we
Oh,
did it
maybe.
because Three Rivers was higher than us last year at the
But
end.
was Moberly was
Moberly
got a
had
bye, did they
Moberly
not?
had a bye.
did.
Three
Yeah.
Rivers was higher than you, so you went to
Yeah,
Three
we went to
Rivers.
Three Rivers and then we went to Moberly.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this year we're either going to be a 1 or 2 seed, right? Because
Hopefully.
it's
Hopefully.
Three Rivers.
Hopefully.
It's probably us and Three Rivers.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's not
Hopefully
State
State Fair doesn't
Hopefully it's
sneak
not
in
State
there.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Now you play Three Rivers again at their place
Soon.
Twice.
twice. Okay.
Yeah.
Our very last game and on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Hope it doesn't ruin
So
my Valentine's Day.
yeah, so if you haven't been out to the games, the crowds have been really good.
They have.
They have.
I was sick for homecoming, but I heard it was basically
my
standing room
Homecoming was electric,
That's
honestly.
awesome.
It was incredible just to see. Like, I don't think our homecoming was anywhere near as big as that last year, which was really, really incredible. I was told by one of the staff members that it was the biggest attendance in decades, which
That's
is
great.
insane.
And it was just so nice to have that for the women and the men, like not just that big crowd for the boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was equal.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult starting at 5 because a lot of people, they're getting out of work at 5 and they're heading home, they change clothes and they don't come out for the women's game, which is unfortunate. But Saturdays, hopefully those are a little better. So for everyone out there listening, again, the February 17th and the 24th, I think, double check the schedule, but I think both of those are 5 o'clock. I think both are 5 p.m. starts. There's been a couple weird, like 6:30 or some earlier, some later, but I think these
Yeah.
are the traditional 5 and 7 because both teams play on those Saturdays. I don't want to keep you all forever, but I do appreciate you coming in. Any final thoughts, meaning of life? Anyone say anything, family or friends?
Yeah, I was just about to say hi to my family. I miss you all and I love you all.
What do you got, Sky?
I love you, Mom and Dad, but you're only 20 minutes away.
Yeah. But different situation. It's okay. I didn't mean to put anybody on the spot. It's fine. I'll just say shout out to Fishkill, New York. Always been sort of this like mythical place. Maybe one day I'll
You should visit.
I'll go to the farm and just pick
some
apples
berries.
Pick some berries. Cool. And maybe I would love one day to make it to Australia and are you, side note real quick, I know women's pro basketball is really big. There are a lot of teams. Is that something that you all follow down there? Do you have like hometown teams or that you root for or go to games?
Yeah, I feel like, well, for both of us, we both played in, home teams. But in terms of WNBL, I feel like I'm more of a watcher on my screen. I don't really go and watch the games, but, I mean, they're incredible. They're all incredible players.
Yeah.
The pro league there is, high level, which is enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, like I'd say I have like a fair few role models in that like I'd look up to, for sure.
We have a few MAC alum who are playing.
Yeah.
Was it Adelaide, maybe?
Holly Forbes was there
Holly,
for a little
and
bit.
she had connected with a couple of other girls who'd played at MAC previously. So, yeah, that's super cool. I know it's a big, big scene. At least you guys are kind of the east and south. You got like Perth is kind of way out west. I don't know what their deal is, but I know in the middle and the east and south, it's kind of a big thing. But yeah, I'll come down there when I win the lottery and check out the beach, the South Beach.
You have to get ready for like a 17-hour flight though if you
Yeah.
can sit for that long.
It's a long way.
The flight's kind of torture.
It's a long way. Are there? You have to worry about sharks. Is that your? I'd be
Isn't
I'd
it
be
like
nervous.
you're more likely to crash in a plane than get bitten by a
than get
shark?
bit by a shark.
Like it's really
Yeah.
unlikely.
Yeah, I don't really like flying anyway, but it's like the joke is that every animal in Australia is designed to, like the whole goal is to kill you.
Such a
That's what I
stereotype.
think.
Literally what I've been told. I'm not coming to Australia because you got big bugs there.
Don't you have to check the toilet before for spiders? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
totally.
crazy.
Don't leave your shoes out. Yeah. Crazy. All right. Well, best of luck for the rest of the season. And then wherever your future may take you, are you looking to transfer, play for a 4-year school? You want to finish your degree in the U.S., or do you plan on going back home?
See where it takes us at the moment. Well, me personally, see what happens.
Yeah.
You know. I'm enjoying it here. I miss my family, so we'll see what
Sure.
happens.
You're a U.S. person, but is your ultimate goal to play after MAC somewhere at a 4-year if you got the
Yeah,
chance?
definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
Good deal. Well, thank you again. For all the listeners, again, come out to the last couple home games. You can watch the away games streaming on YouTube. Just go to the athletics page. I don't know anything else. It's late afternoon. I think we're ready to get out of here. So thank you again. We'll talk to you all later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.